yet. Like, what are we doing?
Corey Graves, the ignorant slut. Cannot pronounce the word coup de grace. He says coup de grace.
Welcome back to This is a Takeover. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and tonight we have got a treat for you. Shelby, Death Ray Patterson, is back after taking a 2-month vacation. Jesus, Shelby, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you, David.
It's nice of you to show up. Like, what? 2 months you've been gone.
It's nice of me to show up to host my own show,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, I appreciate it. And I appreciate Gina for holding the fort down for me while I was gone.
We are all good. You know, you had a kind of a big event.
Yeah, I mean, what could have kept you away for this long? What was so important?
I was like, yeah.
You say vacation. If this is a vacation, I never want to go on one ever again.
But you love her.
Oh, I love her dearly, but, you know, a vacation where you don't sleep and you eat weird things and stay up all night, like, that's a, you know, depending on who you are as a person.
I was going to say, that sounds like my kind of vacation, honestly.
Very true.
That's every cruise we've been on.
That's true.
That's about right.
Well, no, listeners, if you have been hiding under a rock for the past, like, 10, 11 months, I was on my maternity leave. I'm still technically on my maternity leave from work, just from this podcast.
Yes.
My little baby girl was born June 18th. Her name is Lottie.
Yay.
Or her name is Charlotte, but we're calling her Lottie.
Yes.
But yes,
And we were going to call her that, whether you named her Charlotte or not.
You
we
know?
had all decided.
It's Lottie.
I had two names picked out,
You
right?
did. You
And
did.
you know, I think toward the end of my pregnancy, Ted and I both kind of decided on Lottie. We just didn't tell anybody yet.
Yeah.
But everyone was pretty much dead set on her name being Lottie. So even if we named her the other name, it really wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
And at this point, I can't remember how we landed on Lottie. I think it's just because somebody made a joke about naming her Charlotte, and Katie was like, "Oh, and then we'll call her Lottie," and then it just stuck for the next 6 months.
Katie. It was Katie who was the one who said it, because we said that it was going to be Charlotte Ray or the other name. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Oh, well, if it's Charlotte, you can call her Lottie." I was like, "Oh my God,
It's happening.
I have to do that." And she said, even if you name her something else, if she crosses the threshold of my house, her name is Lottie. So I felt like I had no choice. I was being held hostage by one of my best friends. So
And we all agreed I'm going to call her Charlotte Flair Patterson.
I mean, it's on brand, right?
Oh,
for
y'all,
the
can you
show.
imagine that Halloween costume? The
You're going to put her in a woundsy.
Oh gosh,
that one even made me sick.
You know
Damn.
what? I don't know if it's just, you know, I'm delirious from lack of sleep, but that was funny.
Thank you. That's my target audience.
Wow.
Delirious
We
from
just-
lack of sleep.
We just switched.
We did.
We just switched because I was like, no, that was
Gina
terrible.
was just deadpan.
No. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh gosh. Well, welcome to This Is a Takeover. I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Bradford.
Oh my gosh, this is great. I'm really happy to be
Welcome back,
I've
babe.
missed this.
Yes.
I didn't realize like how much I use this show as therapy and as like just cathartism, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's just
A way to unwind and talk about things we enjoy.
yeah, exactly. And it's just nice to be back and to hear my voice in my
Yes.
earbuds again. Well, I'm glad that we started with this one, or my one back, or my first one back is going to be this one.
Yes.
Just because I forgot how fun these are, because we've been so indicted with like regular WWE pay-per-views and
Yes.
AEW like marathons.
Yes.
That-
5Ks.
Right. That this is just such a refreshing, like takeovers are so refreshing because it's 2.5 hours at
Perfect.
the most.
Oh, max.
You
Yeah.
have like 6 matches on the main card, maybe 1 on the pre-show, if there is a pre-show.
Yeah.
And it's just nice. Like everything is paced really well, and you don't have these like intricate things in between. Like you may have a vignette here and there, but like it's just nice.
Yes.
It's nice to watch something and then be in bed by like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
That is pretty rad.
Yeah.
Especially as I get older, as we all get older.
Exactly.
Some of these
We
are
just-
like, whoa.
Especially when you have a little one that's going to wake you up at 3:30 in the morning.
A literal child, yes.
A literal child.
Don't talk about Ted that way.
There it is.
It was either going to be that or my dog.
I thought Pete, so
Yes.
there we go.
But this is the Great American Bash. That's the one we're going to be talking about today. I thought it was funny or not funny, but like not like haha funny, but funny.
But hee funny? Like what?
But funny, like interesting funny.
Okay.
That the intro was done by Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
And the reason for that, which
I mean, yes.
there's two different reasons, right? One reason is that Dusty Rhodes
Yes.
came up with the Great
American
American Bash, and it's kind of it was his brainchild, right?
Yes.
The other thing is that they're promoting a documentary that's out about him right now.
Yes, it was definitely like the first one was oh, and then the second one was oh, like oh, this is the money making side, but
Which, because I mean, he is kind of the hottest thing that
Oh,
they
yeah.
have going right now.
Yeah.
So I understand why they want to put him on everything.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
I just thought it was funny that also it's in Texas.
I also think that I'm going to say this, and he's talked about this before in interviews, but I don't know what it is, but every promo that they've had for him to do on the WWE, they add so many S's. So
Yeah.
many S's, and he has a lisp, and he's worked
does.
very, very hard on it. But I mean, come on, Great American Bash, like, oh, there were so many, like, oh, it's like, dang, come on, man, that's just mean.
Yeah, and
But he handled it beautifully.
I mean, it's bad when your dad, who doesn't watch wrestling very often,
Joe.
is watching it with you, and he hears Cody Rhodes talk and says, "Does that guy have a lisp?" I'm like, "Yeah, he does."
He does. And this is better than where it started.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But let's just get into.
Let's go.
So we have our pre-show match, which I totally forgot about because
Well-
full disclosure, just peek behind the curtain
Yep.
here. When we watched this on Sunday,
Yes.
I maybe saw a total of 2 matches
Yeah.
because I fell asleep.
You did. You did. But you have a very valid reason.
I do, and I had a almost 10-pound child on my chest that's a furnace. And
She sleeps just like her mother. Let's just put it that way. She's gonzo.
yes, and it was very nice, very warm, and I just fell asleep.
Yes.
But so I had to go back and rewatch all of this.
Well, of course. Yes.
Because I didn't remember anything that happened.
Yeah.
But the pre-show is not included in the replay.
No, and it's not. And it's
So-
a shame.
Because I remember watching the pre-show.
Yes.
And it was an 8-person mixed tag match. And it's funny because I can never remember these poor girls' names.
Never.
And also, listeners, I know you hear this rain noise in the background.
It's just
It is
our luck.
It has become just our show-sponsored white noise because.
Well, hang on a second.
What?
When Kara was here, it didn't rain.
Are you trying to imply that I somehow bring the rain with me?
I mean,
Because-
The rain's down in Africa.
You're probably right.
I mean, we don't know what you do when we don't see you. So
Yeah. I don't see. No, I was going to make
To be
it
fair, I also don't know what anyone else is doing when I don't see them.
Whoa.
Why do you have to take things that I say so literally?
Just to spite you.
Because God help everyone if I did know what you were doing when I didn't see you.
That'd be the worst superpower ever.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
It would be alternately the best and the worst superpower depending on the situation.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
That's
no, I can
very
think of a
true.
couple where it's compromising and it's not fun.
We are getting so
Yeah,
off.
I
so
can
off
think of
time.
a few where it's compromising and it is fun. Let's talk about that. Great American Bash hell.
We're getting,
Wrestling!
We're
Wrestling!
getting so off track.
We've missed it. We've missed this.
We have. It's fine. So you have it's the team of Nathan Fraser, Dragon Lee. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce these names. Yulissa Leon and Valentina Faraz.
I think that's
that's right.
I trust you.
I don't know who is who. I really don't know.
We both
like they were they were both dressed the same, and they both really looked similar. So I have no idea.
Yep. Nope.
Versus Metaphor.
She giggled in the car on the way here, and she's giggling now.
Get the fuck out of here. Metaphor?
No, there's 4 of them, David. There's 4. It's funny. It's funny. There's 4 of them.
You keep explaining that, Shelby. You got this. You're killing it.
No, that's how they explain it.
Also, hold up, Mr. Onesie, Woozy.
No, that's how they explain it on the show. I'm just doing the bit
I'm
that they're
on
doing.
your side. I'm on your side.
Anyway, Metaphor, which is Noam Dar, Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, and Oro Mensa. Which these names are just ridiculous. Like
Noam Dar sounds like an
Noam
insult.
Dar.
It sounds like an insult. Noam Dar.
You're such a Noam Dar.
Oh, this is gonna be good, folks.
It's the most obscure racial slur I've ever heard.
It really does sound
It
like
sounds
one.
really rude.
But it's the name of a person.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Or even better, he chose that name, even if it's like he chose that
Ooh,
as his wrestling name.
That's a good. Hold on, let me look
what's
that
his,
up.
Yeah.
See what his actual name is.
Anyway, this 8-man tag team.
Nope, his real name is Noam Dar. Shit. Okay. Anyway, let's move on quickly. So the team that doesn't have him on it won.
Anywho,
I really enjoy.
I always thought it would be dogs that got us canceled, but no.
No, it's not gonna be me. I could just blame it on my sleep deprivation.
it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Listeners, are you going to cancel a woman who just had a baby?
Thank you.
No, you're not.
She's gorgeous.
She's
Anyway, so I really love Nathan Frazier.
You
like,
were
a
so
lot.
excited.
I was so excited that I was right.
Yes.
About him, because if you go back and listen, listeners, I predicted
You did.
that he was going to win the Heritage Cup. I said that's who I want to win, for the next one, because he's going to actually do good with it. And he
sure enough.
has. So
Show enough.
people listen. Someone's listening.
I think it's Heartbreak Kid. I think it's
Well,
I
it
think
has
it's HBK.
it has to be him now.
I know.
Triple H is not in charge anymore.
I know.
Well, he's not.
No, I know. I just
He's
It
moved
just-
up to the big leagues now.
well, it makes me worried about who else is over there with him. But that's not. We're not going to talk about that.
no, that's not our show.
Nope, we're not talking about that.
Not our monkey, not our circus.
Not my
Like,
chair, not my problem.
Exactly. We're not going to talk about that.
Anywho,
Whose chair is that?
not mine.
So this match only lasted 10 minutes. I'm trying to keep us going here.
Was it really only 10 minutes?
Yes, it was only 10 minutes.
That's yeah.
It was good.
It was good.
I
but,
liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I always like a mixed tag. I'm still waiting for the day when a guy and a girl can actually like wrestle against
Seriously,
each other.
it's
they
so
do it all the time on the
close.
indies, and it looks super fucking cool.
It's
So,
like, why can't we do that?
but they still have the rules that if a guy tags out, then the other girl has to come in. But maybe one day we'll get there.
We'll wish on a star.
Yes.
Fun story that is actually related.
Oh,
As many of our listeners to the other shows know, Stan Wilson Lee, co-host of my show, Long Walk Talks, we work together, me and him and Chris. And I don't know how he came upon this earlier today. I was in my office working, and I have a direct line of sight to where he sits. And he started getting really excited about something. And I was like, Stan, what the fuck are you watching? And he's like, Dave, Chris, look, there's this wrestling promotion in Chester, and they've got footage from a match, and there's a guy wrestling a girl. There's a guy and a girl in a ladder match. Oh my God, he just threw this woman into a ladder. Yeah, so I was like, first of all, Stan, that's great. I love everything about it. Second, stop fucking watching wrestling at work. But yeah, like you said, a lot of indie promotions are doing it. Why the fuck can't the WWE?
If Chester,
Honestly.
South Carolina can do it,
you said it. I'm glad you said
I'm just
it. I was
saying,
thinking it.
if a small town promotion can do it and it looks
What?
cool enough cool enough for someone who's not like a regular wrestling fan to like stop what
Yeah.
he's doing to let people know about it.
Yes.
Like it's compelling. It's fun to watch.
HBK.
I think they're trying, and they're really the only thing that they can do are these mixed tags.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was still fun. Like, they still get to interact with each other. Because, like, I know one of the girls did, like, a dive to the outside on top of both of the other guys.
Yes.
So, like, they do moves and stuff like that together. It's just they don't, like, outright,
like, just punch some guy in the face,
right?
Or they don't,
which
kick some girl.
The girls can, but the guys can't.
Yes,
like the girls can hop on their back or like hit them in the face or whatever, but the guys can't do that, which is such a weird rule. But anyway, I didn't give it a rating because I didn't rewatch it, but I don't really remember exactly what happened.
I mean, we also were just talking and like catching up and like hanging out.
That's
like,
what the pre-show is. No one really pays attention to because like there's hardly ever a match on the pre-show anymore, so we kind of are surprised whenever it does happen. It's kind of a rarity, and really it's only in NXT that it happens.
Oh, speaking of quick little pre-show, my arch nemesis was on that stupid talking panel.
And he shaved his head.
Thank God. It looks at least not like death. Like
it was a very big fro.
Oh, it was
by the end of it.
Oh, it was so bad. Was it Sam? Stupid Sam?
Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts.
Yeah, I was about to say, listeners, if you don't know who we're talking about just from the description,
I don't like him.
See, Gina has a very like she specifically doesn't like certain people,
commentators mostly.
She likes mostly everybody.
Yeah.
But like the people that she doesn't like,
it
is a true hatred, and like it just can't. I mean, just cannot let go of it. I mean, look at the ignorant slut of it all. That is a core component of our show.
Which, by the way, we did talk about ignorant slut because Michael Cole is really tempting, like creeping closer to switching. Like
it's very.
I don't talk about Michael Cole as much as we used to talk about ignorant slut.
Yes.
So that's why. But yeah, Michael Cole, we're watching you.
You're on ignorant slut watch.
It's a watch. It's not a warning, yet.
Slut Watch 2023.
Yay! We're back, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
but it was a good match for the pre-show.
Yes.
I mean, I'll give it a 3.
I
don't
say
remember.
Middle of the road 3 sounds pretty good.
It was still really fun.
Yes.
So the first match on our main card was for the tag team championships, which I feel like this is where the tag team championship match has been for the past few takeovers. Like the very first match of the show.
And
because we have it's Channing Stax Lorenzo. That's his name. I doubt that Stax is his given government middle name.
You don't think God endowed him with that name?
It's like his Catholic name or something. Like they choose it for him.
A minute. I chose my Catholic name.
And you didn't choose Stax?
No, I did not.
That is a missed opportunity, Gina.
You know what? Wasn't a saint at the time.
I mean, their whole aesthetic is like Italian mob boss, so they're all Catholic.
Oh, absolutely.
You know they're Catholic.
Absolutely.
So you have him and Tony D'Angelo, who is the Dom. The Don. The Don.
I was going to say Dom is somebody else.
We'll talk about him. The Don of NXT, which I think is so funny.
The Don.
Versus Gallus, which we have now come to the conclusion that they don't know what to do with Gallus.
Yeah.
They just don't know what to do with them, because I wrote down
there's no story.
Rugby jerseys ?
It looked like that they were in a game of footy, as like Europeans would say.
It's just
there's no story to them.
They don't know what to do.
There's no character development. I've been kind of like on the fence because I felt bad because Shelby would always tell me like, no, Gallus was so cool, like when they were in UK, like blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I don't feel any connection to them except green. Because their lights are green.
They weren't as blindingly green this time as they were before.
Also, rest in peace, headphone users. Sorry for my green.
Yes. Rest in peace, headphone users. I love it. But I loved the rats on the Titantron, though, for Tony and Stax.
He's a Don.
At first I was like...
they do the hand motions.
they're so over.
When did this happen? Because
Overnight.
honestly, though, because
Like, it really did. Because
they started he got in jail
that's
for
when it
doing
happened.
it, and that's crazy.
That's when it happened. And it came out that Gallus was the one that, like, put him in jail, which didn't. I'm like, okay, whatever. I guess he's like, it's a mob storyline. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily
I think it's also funny because
make sense because it's supposed to be playful, but like it's really funny to me. And they did this whole thing where they're like, who's the rat who ratted me out, and it ended up being Gallus, who wasn't a part of their family, which I thought was really weird but kind of funny. So on the Titantron they just had just a lone rat in the center, and then all like an explosion of rats just happened all over the screen. I was like, I love this. Like, this is so campy and so funny.
I remember like when he first came on, and I was like, oh dear God,
oh, we hated him.
I hated him because I was like, this is just. I didn't think we were back in stereotype land. I thought we were out of this. Like, I was so like, come on, like.
Well, we talked about this though. Like, there's stereotypes that you can't do anymore, right? But like, especially in the WWE, they have a very, very bad track record of doing really terrible stereotypes, right? But apparently, this is one of the ones that's still okay.
Yeah, making fun of white people.
That's fine. It's cool. Which is totally cool.
Yeah.
Because it's fine. But like, it's Italian and Irish, they're still okay.
I mean, Scottish too. I mean, sometimes McIntyre's a little.
That's true. He does turn it up a little bit.
McIntyre's a little.
Sheamus does too. Fella, like, and then banger after banger. That's
banger after banger.
That's a pretty big one too.
Yeah.
But but I feel like they just went with it, and now it has grown because it was just Tony, and then now it's just grown into this whole big, they call it the family, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, okay, we're totally playing off of Fast and Furious here,
or Sopranos. Like,
that's also true.
It's a combo. Sprinkling.
I just whenever I hear family,
it's a part of the family.
It's family. That's my best Vin Diesel impression.
That was incredible. Oscar nominated.
It's uncanny, right? You thought he was here.
I thought. I can't even look at you. Oh.
But I feel like when you have like the family next to Gallus, like it just shows how much they don't have a character. They're we're Irish and we beat people up. I'm like, everybody beats everybody up. Like, it's a wrestling promotion. Like, you have to have something a little bit better than that.
And here's the thing. Like, if we're really going to get into stereotypes, if we're really going to dig this hole, the Irish and the Italians hated each other. It is right there. Like, you could really go for it and be like, oh, because you're Italian. Like, I mean, I'm not saying, but if you're choosing this stereotype, like, I don't know. I just feel like Gallus had such potential, and I just feel like either they just don't want to do. Maybe they probably, you know what? Maybe knowing some writers back there, maybe they did have that idea, and Gallus was like, nah.
Maybe.
Not about it.
And then they're like, okay, well, we just don't have anything for you then.
That's it. Green.
Which, green is green is your personality now. Green is your character.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really enjoyed this match, though, because I feel
work
like Tony and Stax are so over that the crowd was just super hot for them.
Yeah.
And like they were chanting for them, and there was one part where Wolfgang, who's one of the guys who's part of Gallus, went to go break up the pin, and because Tony was pinning Mark. Yeah. And Tony just moved out of the way. So he did like a senton like onto his own guy because he was trying to break up the pin. I was like, why has no one done that? Like most of the time they clearly see them coming to break the pin up. I'm like,
move out the way.
Just move.
Yeah. It's like Samoa Joe.
Exactly.
It's like Samoa Joe.
That's why it's so funny.
It is funny.
Because nobody ever does it.
No.
So you're just like, oh my God, why doesn't everybody do that?
I want one day, like if we're going through this trope, I want one day someone to run up the ladder, grab the belt or the money in the bank, and then be done. That's what I want to see. like they actually get up there. They're not pretending to die, like they're climbing up Everest. Like,
yeah.
I want it to be like there's no one around, and then they just go and they grab it.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like common sense.
It's right there.
But I mean, Gallus is a good team.
They work,
Like-
and they do really good moves. They really just like their technique is there,
Yeah,
but their character is not.
But I think I feel like we're not the only ones that feel this way because they lost.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm kind of not worried. Worried's not the word, but like
Apprehensive.
I'm interested to see like where they go from here
Yeah.
because most like a lot of the other tag team divisions on the other shows for WWE, there's not a lot of tag teams to choose from.
It's
right?
really a shame.
So, because Stax and Tony were not even technically a tag team
No.
until just recently.
They just were put together.
Well, Stax was his. They call him the underboss,
The underboss,
right? So he's his like right hand man, but he wasn't wrestling. He was just a character,
Yeah.
like kind of like a Paul Heyman type,
Yeah.
manager that's on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he wasn't really wrestling. He was probably wrestling like dark matches and stuff, but like he's really good.
Yeah.
Because he kind of carried this match. Like he didn't tag Tony in until about 3/4 of the way through.
I'm wondering if Tony D'Angelo was injured and they worked in this story.
Oh, for him being in prison?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I didn't hear any reports about him being
know.
injured.
I know. I just
Usually, if they
say
do that, they'll
something.
say something about them being injured, and
Yeah, but I
they,
mean, just-
they
I don't know.
rarely work an injury storyline anymore.
I know, but
You never really know.
other than the storyline being they're injured.
Right, like they will just flat out come and say, okay, so and so's torn their whatever, and
Yeah.
they're going to be gone or have to relinquish the title or whatever. But did you hear what their tag team finishing move is?
No.
What the name of it is?
What is it?
It's called the Bada Bing Bada Boom.
No, it's not.
I went back and listened to it. I was like, hearing Vic Joseph say Bada Bing Bada Boom is up there with one of the funniest things I think I've ever heard.
Maybe only if Booker's.
No. Hearing the whitest man from Chicago, Illinois say, I think he's from Cleveland.
No,
Sorry,
Cleveland,
he's from
because he and
Cleveland.
Johnny go to the games.
Right.
Bada bing, bada boom.
It's a pretty cool move. Yeah. So they won with the Bada Bing Bada Boom. And they're the new tag team champs now.
10 out of 10.
Which I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Even though they are extremely over, so it makes sense that they would put them on a
guess-
team that's more popular. But
Who's next?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you have, oh God, what's the redneck boys? Mm-hmm. The one that Fallon Henley's with.
Well, that's the thing.
Or
we
they
talked
were.
about this in the car. Like, where the all four of those people been?
I don't know. I mean,
Like,
I
they're
don't.
gonzo.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I mean, I gave this match a 4.5. I
Oh,
really enjoyed it.
All right.
And
I went with 4 Regals, but 4.5. That's fair.
yeah, just because it was really fun, and I feel like they're gonna have a really fun run because I guarantee on some episode of NXT TV they're just gonna have this big huge family dinner where they talk
And
about
my grandmother's ricotta.
right, exactly.
And the lasagna.
And they're going to show off the tag titles and talk about how proud they are of each other, and it's
they got the red wine at the table.
exactly.
Oh.
So I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun to
Yes.
see, and hopefully they can kind of bring some fresh air in that division, because
Yes.
I feel like tag team divisions in WWE just constantly need refreshing.
Yeah.
That's why they have people drop the belt so often, because people forget who hold these titles. But yeah, 4.5.
4.5.
Really fun. Our next match is Roxanne Perez versus Blair Davenport in a Weapons Wild match.
So this was interesting because
Yeah.
the lead up to this was just Roxanne kind of having an aneurysm. And
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't blame her because, she's been so close, like so many times. Like, so this, I think the thing that got me was like they started to do like real life, like, attacks Like, you know, she was in a gas station and then she just starts wailing on her, like just beating the shite out of her.
Live on Instagram or something.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm going to find her. Like, I'm going to go get her.
It just, the lead up to this to me was a little strange just because they hid who Blair Davenport was for so long. Like, she was the hacker of NXT, which I'm like, if they use another freaking hacker gimmick in WWE one more time, like there's always, they did it twice in NXT.
Yeah.
Because Scripps or whatever his name was, the guy who was Reggie, the Cirque du Soleil guy, he was also a hacker. And I'm just like, why is this cool to them? Like, I don't understand. And she wasn't.
It's wrestling. What can you hack in wrestling?
They just were hacking like the video footage, like the camera footage of things outside. Or,
cool.
Or like in the locker rooms or whatever. And they were like excuse me. Goodness gracious. I'm so sorry.
That was a solid 8.
Thank you.
And you even were away from the mic.
I was. Yeah. No, those have, since post-pregnancy, they have gotten pretty intense. Anyway, they've been using this gimmick for ages now, and it literally is just so they can drop in on secret conversations. Like there was one where Roxanne was having a conversation with Booker T. Yeah. And he was like giving her like a pep talk or whatever.
Also clearly staged, like, you know, it's not even like they're trying to make it look like that was hacked. Like, I think that's the problem that you have, is that it's like you clearly didn't put forth the effort to make this look like it was hacked. Like you're hiding behind boxes or something. Like, or come on,
at least like
shaky camera phone,
some leaves in front of the camera lens or something, and make it look like you're hiding in a bush or something. You know. Anyway, it really bugs me. I feel like it's really lazy. Yeah. And Blair Davenport is a really good wrestler. Yeah. And I feel like bringing her in, because she was also in UK and one of those people that kind of got lost in the shuffle, and I think got released and then now got brought back. And, you know, she is really good. She is a really good women's wrestler, but like, I just feel like this was a weird gimmick to put her in, and now they're not even talking about it anymore.
No,
like she's not the hacker anymore. She's just herself.
She's just Blair Davenport.
You know, which is fine. But this calling it a weapons wild match, I just didn't understand. Is it because we're in Texas?
What I assumed and what I saw were a lot of the things that Dusty had. So like there was rope, there was
cattle
prod. Like there were a couple
cowbell.
Things. Yeah. Oh, the cowbell was pretty good.
The cattle prod was kind of brutal though.
Yeah.
Like she was hitting her with it.
Yeah,
and
it was pretty nasty.
Hitting the trash can with her in it, which like I can't see a trash can and not think of Io Shirai.
Like everybody was making the joke, like, oh, and she's gonna hit it, and then out it's gonna pop Io.
No, the best one was, she's gonna throw the trash can into the ring, and as it's flying in the air, Io's just gonna pop out, shoot out of it. I mean, if that happened,
I would have cried.
We would have not been on this show because I would have passed away.
Yeah, like her soul would have gone to the Lord.
But yeah, I just. It was brutal, ? But like, I mean, Blair was just literally throwing chairs at her, like not even hitting her with the chair, like just chucking chairs at her.
Yeah, just like,
and she was taking it too, like full face.
Like, Roxanne, I will say, out of all the things that I've seen her do, I have no doubt she would take real shit.
Oh, I know, but like, just it seemed a little lackluster to me. Like the moves seemed a little choreographed.
Yeah.
Like you could really, I don't know, like sometimes when you watch a match and you see someone be thrown into, like say they set a chair up in the corner.
Yeah.
And you see someone be thrown into it. Mm-hmm. This is going to sound really strange, but sometimes it looks better if they don't brace themselves for it and they just go right into it, right?
Yes.
But like if you stop and brace yourself for it, then it looks like you're bracing yourself for it, and you still hit it. Like
sometimes there's just no way around it other than like just accepting the pain and accepting
just
that
drop
defeat.
the shoulder and just take it. Like if you stop and hesitate even for a little bit to brace yourself, it looks like, and you still hit it, it looks like you're doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
you know. and not just like going full force into it. So there was a lot of that, and there were a lot of like
and now she grabs the
pulled.
cattle prod, and now she
Yes.
grabs the rope, and now this happens, and yeah.
I mean, you had the added drama of having her family at ringside, which, like, good on that little sister.
That little sister.
For producing real tears.
10 out of 10 Oscar. Hey, Christopher Nolan has a knack of picking, random people that he doesn't know are celebrities. Like, if she becomes a celebrity, maybe we'll see her in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, she was great. Good for her.
I mean, I don't know. I loved both of their gear, which if I am noticing their gear, it's not that great of a match.
Chris.
If I go fashion plate on your ass, it's not that great of a match, right?
Yeah, no. And that's a shame because Roxanne's really good.
No, she is, which is why I was really surprised that this was lackluster for me, because both of these women are really good.
Yeah.
And the fact that this isn't for a title, like, this should have been
Like,
way more
knockout,
brutal
drag
than it
out.
was.
Yeah.
Like, way more brutal than it actually was. So, I mean, you had the cowbell and the belt spot, which were really the only two highlights of the whole thing.
Truthfully.
I mean, she honestly,
And getting whacked with a cowbell sucks.
let's say when the like most threatening weapon in your Weapons Wild match is a studded black belt
Yeah.
that was clearly from someone's gear.
Oh, Hot Topic.
Like
yeah.
You listeners, you're picturing exactly what I'm talking about. It's that long, thick, black Hot Topic
With the little
with the
metal studs.
raised little mini studs on it.
Not the spikes.
No
The studs.
Yeah, it just
Yes.
comes to a
There's
very
difference.
subtle point.
Yeah.
It's
been filed down a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, there were still welts on her back,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like it was just really funny when a belt, like a studded belt, is
That was the only one that really made sound too. That just whap.
that and the cowbell. I'm sure the cowbell hurt.
Yeah, the cowbell. You can't fake that one.
But there was just so many trash cans, so many chairs. And there was one table that they
I just was
used.
waiting for chains. I was waiting for. And maybe it's just because we've been watching a lot of AEW and it's
Yeah.
been pretty nasty, brutal.
like thumbtacks and chains
And glass.
and just shards of glass.
And Cracker Barrel biscuits.
Exactly.
Still one of my favorite wrestling matches ever.
I mean, have you been hit with a biscuit before? Like, if you let that thing sit out for 3 days, it's hard as a
man.
rock.
If it's a Popeye's biscuit.
I mean, just any biscuit. You let it sit out in room
That's a hockey
temperature.
puck.
Yeah, no.
No. No.
Yeah, I mean, Roxanne won. I do love the name of her finisher. It's called the Pop Rocks.
No, she's so
It's cute. But it's a sunset flip power bomb, which is always a really cool move.
That's a really fun move.
I mean, I gave this a 3.5 just because.
Oh, you were generous.
I was.
I was
but
not.
I feel like with this being a no DQ match, like, you could have involved the family at ringside a little bit more.
Yes.
You could have.
I would have loved to see that sister just wallop on her.
You could have
just
used
Peter.
like a lot more of the weapons. Like, there was actually one point where Blair takes the trash can, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's gonna like rummage through and pull out something really
Yeah.
cool. She dumps everything on the floor and uses the trash can as the weapon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you just wasted all, like, there was a rope in there.
Yeah.
There was like a bunch
There were
of really
planks.
sharp shits in there. I don't know what it was, but like
wood planks that clearly come on.
there was a whole plethora that you could have chosen from, and you chose the trash can that you
which you already
have
used.
before in a spot. So
Oh my
you didn't need to
gosh.
use that again. You
Yep.
know, it's just, I feel like they didn't really utilize the stipulation. If you're not going to utilize it, then you should just have a regular singles match.
Yes.
You know, and that's also part of my complaint with the other women's match on the show, but we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
But yeah, 3.5. Maybe I could knock it down to a 3, but
I was going to give it a 2.5.
oh, that's a harsh.
I really, yeah.
But yeah, so next week. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh at someone's debut, but this was not good.
You know what? I take it back because this is the one that I would give lower stuff.
Yeah,
Lower
so
Regals
this
to.
is Baron Corbin versus Gable Steveson, which yay to seeing Baron Corbin back to his old roots and back to his
Yes.
old character, because they used to call him the lone wolf, like that was his big thing.
Yes.
And now he is back to that kind of persona. It's not lone wolf
Burn
in
ships.
name, but yeah, his like motto or like whatever is burn ships, which I think is kind of cool. It's
I get it.
different, and I mean, honestly, he's the type of person that you can give him anything and he's gonna make it work regardless of how stupid it is, right?
Yeah.
So he made us all laugh hysterically at him being a poor. You know, like that was his character, is that he was poor.
He was poor.
Like he had bean stains on his shirt and he made it work.
It was
you know,
the
so
craziest
he's
thing.
the type of worker that literally can take like a trash bag and turn it into something great. You
Yeah.
know, so I think putting him with Gable for his first match was a really good choice. I just think it's bad when you have the crowd cheering and chanting for Baron Corbin over you, and it's your debut match, and you have been touted as this like great all-American Olympian, and he was originally drafted to Raw and then all of a sudden showed up in NXT, so I guess that didn't matter.
Well, I think that was along the lines of when he was supposed to be in jail for allegedly committing.
I did not know this.
We talked about this.
I
on
was
the-
asleep.
No, you were not. You looked me in the eyes. Okay, so Botchamania, if y'all watch Botchamania, Matthew does an incredibly hilarious joke about it. Now, I know Robert's probably screaming at me being like, no, it's this, it's not that. But
Well, he's not here.
I know. But essentially, he had some allegations against him. Now, I don't remember if they were of sexual nature or if they were of like just other misconduct stuff.
Okay.
But he was supposed to go to jail. Like they decided, and then suddenly he's not, and he paid it off.
Oh.
Yeah, girl.
So that's why he hadn't debuted on Raw.
Uh-huh.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then why do we have him? That's not fair. Why do we get the felon?
I love watching like the process of your brain like get to there and be like, oh shit.
That's not fair.
No, it's not. So that's why I want to vote to give this a 1 star. Just one.
We haven't
regal.
even talked about it yet.
Just that alone. Why do we get the criminal who gets to pay off because he's an Olympic whatever bullshit?
Who's not even that good.
No,
Like
no, he's not.
So just to kind of go through this just a little bit, like they're really playing up the Olympics of it all, right? Like they really are.
We get it. They're coming. 2024, Paris. Cool.
Yeah, but like that's not what they're not even talking about the Olympics and where it is and when it is.
No,
Like,
it's just.
but it is so spot on to what Kurt Angle was doing.
He is literally like when you order something from Wish. He is Wish Kurt Angle.
Wish Kurt Angle.
That's what he is.
Wangle.
That sounds like something. Which, you know what? We did talk about that
Oh
as
my
well
God.
because he did not come out with the protective gear that he
did-
should have.
No, he did not.
And it was really gross.
It was really like absurd,
It was
honestly.
disconcerting.
Like when you're gonna wear
A singlet.
essentially a onesie of a wrestling. That's what a singlet
A
is.
spandex onesie at that.
A singlet is a spandex onesie for wrestlers. Like it is. It does. It shows everything.
Everything.
Like you
Every
cannot
sin.
hide
Every
anything.
sin.
And so I'm just like, dude,
Maybe snort.
like no, wear a cup, please, at
please.
least. Like just
We don't want to see it.
anyway.
And it wasn't that impressive.
Damn. But they're really playing into that, and he walked down to the ring with his gold medal around his neck, and it gave me Logan Paul vibes, and I hated it. Like I was just like immediately turned off by this guy.
Like I didn't even try chanting like you sucked.
Right, doing the whole Kurt Angle chant. Like, but clearly that's what he is going for, right? And because he did a lot of suplexes, he did a lot of holds, and if that's your style, like that's totally fine. And Corbin's he's one of those guys that's gonna match wherever you are and play off of that. But I don't know. At the same time, it just didn't work.
No.
And he botched some stuff, and the ending to this was just terrible. Like
I'm getting grumpy just thinking about it.
the
again.
ending was a double countouts, which to me is worse than a DQ finish because nobody wins.
No.
Right? Like, no, both of them were counted out. So basically, they brawled outside the ring past the 10-second mark.
And then that was it.
And that was it. And then then Gable beat him up afterwards, and he was the one that stood tall.
And he got the music, exit music. I was like,
no. You didn't win, my guy. Like, you didn't win. Like, that's not how this works. Just because you beat the other guy to the point where they can't get up, that doesn't mean that you win unless it's the last man standing
also
match.
beating up Baron Corbin. I know, Baron, you're getting back on your feet, but
poor baby.
It's not a big accomplishment right now.
It's really
sorry.
not.
It's really not.
It's really not. I gave this a 2.
Yeah.
Like, it was, to me, it was really hard to watch because you could tell he was trying, but it just...
Baron?
Baron was carrying it.
Yeah.
Breaking his back while he was carrying it.
He has like 7 vertebrae that are broken.
Just shattered. Just
dust.
Completely shattered into dust. Like, but no, I was saying you could tell Gable was trying, but like, it just wasn't. Regular wrestling and sports entertainment are not the same thing, and it's clear when some of these people who are from the legit wrestling world or from the MMA world or from whatever, the internet, or whatever, like, they come to WWE and they think that they can pick it up, and some of them can.
Yes.
Like, despite all of his flaws, Logan Paul has picked it up, and he's getting it, right?
Yes.
But there are some that just don't get it, and they won't get it,
Nope.
right? So, I feel like he is one of those people, and hopefully he'll get better, and maybe but I feel like when you put someone up on such a high pedestal and tout him as this great guy that
this amazing wrestler
coming into this and is going to just blow everybody away, I feel like when he doesn't do anything less than extraordinary, then it's going to be disappointing.
Yeah.
And that's what this was. Like, it was an okay match. Like, it was fine. But when you come in already on a pedestal, like, you have to deliver, and if you don't, then it's no one's going to forgive you for it, and they're always going to remember that match, and you're going to get booed because they've got booed out of the building.
Oh, yeah. And so here's the other thing that I think bothers me about this man is that I remember one of his promos was him talking to his friend, his guy that was like, his actual friend.
Yeah.
And in the promo, he's like, well, I don't really know if I'm going to make the choice to be here, and like,
eye roll.
I don't know if it's like, what I really want, I've got some other great offers. And I was like, this is your angle? This is your angle?
Like, I don't really want to be here,
Like,
but like, you guys will do.
Like, and now it's hilarious because no one's picked him up because he was supposed to be in jail. So now he is here. So
very clear that, like,
you gotta hike to get NXT fans because we got grudges.
No, we remember shit. We don't forget anything.
David? What's the house? We remember things. We remember.
Oh, the house always remembers.
Yeah. What is that?
Starks.
Starks. Yeah. Starks?
No, the Starks were winter is coming.
Yeah. Who is? They
well,
remember.
Lannister never forgets.
Lannister always pays their debts.
Oh.
I don't know shit. I don't know why I'm saying it. I'm getting another beer. Hold on.
Who is it? Because it's remember. They remember.
Hold on. Now I have to. God.
David, you were the expert.
Well, I named the other two better than the two of you did. So, hold on. Let me vamp while I Google this.
Sorry, everyone. Just completely derailed the conversation. Yeah, just so I could get another beer.
That's the whole reason you threw me under the bus.
Well, yeah, it had to be a seamless transition. Come
Absolutely.
I don't know who you could be thinking of. Ours is the Fury. We do not sow. Unbowed, unbent, unbroken. Winter is coming. Family, duty, honor. Growing strong. We stand together.
Tyrion Lannister said, "I drink and I know things."
Yes.
I remember things.
That's not
Fire and blood.
That's not the same thing, though. I don't think it's someone from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I think you might be remembering it from somewhere else.
Probably. Sorry, David.
What a rabbit hole that was. All right. I'm going to have one of those beers before I leave here.
Yeah.
Well, I think I just gave Gina the last
okay.
one. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
You can have this one, David. It's okay. It's right here. You deserve that after the bullshit I just put
After
you
the
through.
rabbit hole that you just sent him on unnecessarily. It's not. It's probably not even Game of Thrones. The people that are listening to this are probably shouting at you right now, being like, "It's so and so."
Robert
Like,
has his head in like his hands, just being like, "Oh my god."
oh man. All right.
Are you just thinking of elephants?
No, an elephant. That's true. They have really good memories. You're thinking of elephants.
No, it was a quote.
Gina,
Damn it.
you're thinking of elephants
Silly.
again.
Again.
Can we always do this podcast right after you've had a baby?
Where I'm delirious and getting my alcohol tolerance back up? Yes.
Y'all, this is gonna be the best episode ever.
Or the worst. Or the longest we've ever done. We still got like 3 more matches
we got
to
this.
talk
We
about.
got this. We got this.
Okay. So the next match is for the North American title. It's a triple threat match with Wesley, Mustafa Ali, and Dominic Mysterio. Because I refused to say Dirty Dom.
You just did though.
I just did, but that's the only time that I'm gonna say it. Your eyes. I can't. It's the same as someone calling
we can
someone
say-
daddy. Okay, like I just can't do it. And I love.
But we can call someone mommy.
I was about to say, I love me some Rhea Ripley. I even have issues with that. I just don't like it when it's said in a sexual way. Like I just can't. I can't do it. I would
Buddy
never
Murphy
say it.
is the one that makes it even better on Twitter.
I'm sure he does.
He's funny on Twitter with stuff like that because people will be like, "Mommy," and he's like, "Back off, it's mine."
I'm like, that's fine. You know, I'd be scared of both of them. You know,
honestly.
so that's a very
But-
jacked couple.
But I actually really did enjoy the build to this match.
Oh yeah.
But I also liked the ring psychology in this match as well. Like just having Mustafa and having Wesley. Like
Also, I think I'm mispronouncing his name as Mustafa.
Mustafa. You're
Yeah,
right.
I
You're
keep
right.
forgetting.
Mustafa Ali. You are correct. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like having him and Dominic come in and be kind of main roster presence, but having it still feel like it's connected to NXT
well,
because
I mean, they were there for so like.
well, Dominic wasn't.
Dominic was not.
and I
but
don't even know if Mustafa was. I don't think he was. I'm pretty
I
sure.
feel like he could vibe there.
Well,
like,
sure,
he passes
but-
the vibe test for the
He
NXT.
passes the NXT vibe test. That's something that they have to do before they go into the performance center. Like it's like a metal detector. Like you have to go through
The
it.
vibes are off. You cannot stay.
You cannot stay. That's like the final test. Like you pass everything else. But because we had, I think it was a couple of weeks before this match, because Wesley had held the title for a very long time and had a really good run with it.
Yes.
And then you had Dominic who came in and just as like a, we're trying to get ratings up, so we'll put the Judgment Day on NXT and Finn Balor will be there and everybody will lose their shit and,
Yeah.
It'll be fun. But then he won the title
that was
from Wesley
I was
and
a little-
everyone lost their shit in a different way.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of was like mixed feelings because he worked so damn hard for that thing.
I loved it. I thought it was
Yeah.
perfect. Like I thought it was. I mean, yes, he has worked really hard in his career and had some setbacks, and it was a good story.
But he's had it for
He held it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for someone from the Judgment Day who is just completely running roughshod on like all the other shows to come in and steal the title and still call it the NXT title and defend it on all of the shows.
I also want to give because I just thought of this, the irony that out of all of the Judgment Day members, the one person who was not on NXT is the one who gets the title.
Oh yeah. No, it makes sense.
Like
and it's-
Rhea, Damian, and Finn.
I mean, Finn's never won that title before. Like, it was not established until, like, Adam Cole was the first one who won that title.
Gosh, that's right.
So,
Because
was
he
not
talked about that when he came back for that little stunt.
Yes.
Or stint.
It was not even established when Finn was in NXT. So they had someone who was on in their group that actually was on NXT who hadn't won that title because Damian had won the title.
Good Lord.
I know. I thought it was hilarious too. I just thought it was great, and it works with the group dynamic as a whole because now you have a Damian who has the Money in the Bank. You have Rhea who has the women's world title, and now you have Dom who has the North American title, and it's supposed to grow, resentment for Finn because he's the only one without anything to hold. So I think it's supposed to further that storyline, and set something up with him and Damian, I think, down the road. But so having him come in and basically steal this title from one of the NXT darlings, and have everyone just lose their shit 2 weeks before Great American Bash, well, what's gonna happen now? What are they gonna do? Because they had already set up the match with Mustafa and Wesley for the title when he lost it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was also brilliant because that never happens either.
No.
So usually when you have a match that's already established for a pay-per-view, when you have a title match that's set up going into the run up to that pay-per-view, they don't lose the title.
No, that's the whole point.
They beat whoever comes in. And also with it being Dominic, you're just okay, dude, you're just going to come in for a week to spike the ratings to make it look like, compared to AEW Rampage numbers, you're doing better. But
he has grown
he
so
won.
much.
He won the freaking match and now has defended it multiple times and beat everybody.
I will say
so it really set everything up because then it just naturally set up to be a triple threat because they already had Mustafa who was slated to be in this anyway. So he's so I'm still good, right? I get
not going anywhere.
I get whoever I'm next, right?
Yeah.
I get whoever. But I mean, this was by far my match of the night.
I mean,
solely for Rhea Ripley.
I was going to say,
oh my
carried,
God.
Just
now, granted,
Atlas carried.
Granted,
the world on her back.
There were a lot of really good spots in this match, and I encourage everybody to go watch it.
Thoroughly enjoyed
because
this match.
there was one in particular that I'll talk about in a second. That the lead up to the finish that was just so cool.
That's what I thought you were going to say. Yeah.
Oh man, but there was one point this woman drops to her knees and just screams no to the heavens, just
as loud as she could,
because it was a near fall.
Yep, and then didn't get the count.
She goes and runs and gets the title and is we're leaving,
we're done.
And then she interacts with Wesley and does a riptide onto the announce table. Puts him through the announce table.
Beautiful.
Just
mommy.
Mwah, just so good.
Mommy.
And so honestly, can't tell you a lot because I was just watching her on the outside.
I mean she's entrancing, honestly. But
I would love to actually see a singles match with Mustafa and Wesley.
Yes.
Because Dominic has come a very long way.
Yes.
From when he was tagging with Ray. I mean, we were kind of skeptical there for a second.
It was a rough start. It was a rocky start.
I think you're just going to be a legacy hire, and you'll probably fade in the background. But he really has stepped up, and he has gotten really, really good. But he isn't as much of a high flyer because he's so tall, right? So. No.
He's not like his dad that.
He is really tall.
He's super tall, which is crazy because I don't think his mom's that tall either.
I mean, his mom is taller than Ray.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he soars above both of them.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the joke that Ted and I make about Lottie all the time.
She's going to be so tall.
We're she's either going to be a dwarf or she's going to be a giant because... I mean, and then we look at her feet and we're yep, giant.
Giant.
Okay, perfect.
She's going to be tall.
But... the setup for the finish of this to me was just so great because you have Dominic who sets Wesley up in the corner that he's going to do the frog splash, right?
Yeah.
But then Mustafa, who had been out on the side for a while, so you kind of forgot that he was even there, just comes out of nowhere from behind the camera and just like hits, does a step up enziguri like on him in the corner. And then you're thinking, okay, he's going to fall out to the outside. No, he just completely like lips it and just like stays there on the corner. Like his leg is draped over the turnbuckle. And so you're thinking, oh, okay, well, this is going to block Mustafa from getting up to do his move. Oh, no. He climbs over his ass.
Psych!
And does the 450 splash over him. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
He is. I'm saying this. I'm so glad he's here. I'm so glad he's back. Honestly, because I want to see the other high flyers come back, too. Like, I miss 205 Live. I miss that vibe. I miss the representation. Yeah. And I think with him coming back, I think it could be some good shit.
I hope so. I'm manifesting this because the last time I manifested something, it came true on this show.
We are manifesting.
So I want him and Nathan Fraser. Or him and Axiom to go at it.
Axiom.
Triple threat with the three of them. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Axiom.
So he does the 450 splash and goes for the pin, and you think he is going to win because, I mean, Wesley is underneath the mat at this point.
Dead.
Like
DED dead.
He hits it square, like just perfect.
It was a good sound too.
And then you see Rhea Ripley pull his leg and pulls him out, and then Dominic does the frog splash and he wins. Like, to me, that makes sense as a finish for a triple threat, right? Because it's no disqualification, no countouts, right? In a triple threat. So Rhea can do essentially whatever. She could have gotten in and been the fourth man if she wanted to.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. I know we're going back in a circle on this other.
Oh, I know.
But damn it,
that would have been great, right?
Amazing.
But I think doing what she did made the most sense.
Oh yeah.
And she still did a lot more than most women would do on the outside. Most women would like just jump up on the ring apron and be like, like they would try to cause a distraction, which she did. Yeah. But she also
it's not simpering and, she
also put someone through a table and then hit someone with a title. And because there was one spot where she threw the North American title into the ring and it went through Dom's legs and right at the ref's foot.
I forgot about that.
And so he just looks at it and then just picks it up and is like, the fuck, guys? Like, seriously? And he's like, no, I'm so sorry, But then as he's giving it, back to the to the guy on the outside, Rhea slips her title.
Yep.
And hits one of them with him. I can't remember which one it was, but
just bam.
Yeah, so just little things like that, like the misdirection.
They have a really good rapport.
They do. They have such a good dynamic together, and it just, you kind of forget that they're not a couple in real life, but you don't want them to be.
No,
because I don't think it would be as good if they were actually a couple in real life.
As long as it's not that Buddy Murphy and
right, like
we're just gonna pretend.
It's very clear that one of them can make a dating angle with a Mysterio work.
Well, I think it's because he's younger.
Well, that's true.
I think it's that. Yeah.
Well, and it's also, she's like, they're both around this. They're both the same exact age. I think I looked this up.
Oh, are they really?
Yes,
I thought he was younger.
No, they're both the exact same age.
That's funny.
Right. So you had that versus Buddy Murphy and Aaliyah, where she was like 12, right? Like,
she wasn't actually 12, but like 15. Yeah, it was gross.
It was weird.
It was gross.
Anyway, so I gave this another 4.5.
Absolutely.
This was really great and just super fun. And all I'm saying is give Rhea Ripley all the titles. Just give her all the men's titles, all the women's titles, all the tag titles. I don't care.
I just want her to be the next Charlotte Flair.
Oh man,
I want her to have that many titles, man.
Yeah,
I want her to have that much. I want her to
16
have that much
time. Yeah. I mean, I wish that this one
16 times. It's still crazy to think about that with Charlotte. That's crazy.
Well, it's because they, every so often they're like, oh, we need to rack up her title reign, because it's a big number. So we need to just, have someone drop the belt. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, honestly,
just give her a belt. But yeah, so it was fun. I loved that one. So our second to last match is for the women's championship
semi-main?
match. Yes, semi-main. Good job. I could not think of that word, so thank you.
Learning.
So you have Thea Hale versus Tiffany Stratton, which God bless Thea Hale.
I love this match. It was so freaking good. I have no problem with Tiffany Stratton. I enjoy her a lot. I even like that she has the prissy voice and is like singing in the rain when, you know, this very beautiful woman walks out and then it's like, oh, hi, like that. Yeah, it was fantastic.
See, to me, that becomes a earworm in my ear and it will not leave. And it sets up shop in there.
It's so good, though. I love it. But Thea Hale, Thea freaking Hale is just... If Fireball the drink was a human, that would be Thea Hale.
Yeah.
Just
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all over the place.
But it's not to the point where she's annoying.
No.
Like
it is real passion she feels.
For being 19 years old, she really understands the balance between a super hyper and you know, extreme character. Like she's really found the hills and valleys of it, really, because at first you're like, okay, all this girl is going to do is just scream, right? Which can be funny, but is only funny for maybe like one or two times that you see it, and then you're like, okay, is that all you can do?
Yeah.
But I really feel like they took her energy and just went with it.
Yeah.
'Cause if you watch her in these early vignettes of Chase University,
her eyes were always there.
You can pick her out. Everyone else is wearing black and she's wearing neon green. Like that's how like it's like a arrow pointing at her.
Palpable. Her energy is palpable.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring this up because I don't know if you had this written down, but I remember this when we watched it. Excuse me. When we watched this, the announcer said this is the youngest match for the women's title that has ever happened. To have both women be as young as they are fighting for the championship.
Yep, because Thea's 19 and Tiffany's 24.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I thought that was fun that they said that.
Yes. That's a very Vic quote.
It is.
It's a very Vic statistic. No, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I was going to make a Vic.
Vitistic?
Yeah, that. There you go. Damn it. Cool. Awesome. Leave me alone, David. Don't look at me. Don't judge me.
David's just sitting back silently on this one.
He's always judging me. That's what is it? That's my secret. I'm always judging you.
Does that sound like something I would do?
Yes.
Unanimous, yes.
Oh, okay.
Go back to playing Candy Crush.
Is it Candy Crush?
It is actually not tonight. Boom. Look at that.
Oh, I was going to say your screen closed out. That was really funny.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so this was a submission match.
Which is fun.
I'm going to disagree a little bit with you. About this match.
Oh, really?
I did not enjoy it as much as you did.
Oh.
Not just because I like Tiffany Stratton. It's not that.
Yeah.
She is what I think Mandy Rhodes was trying to do.
Yes. She's got the mix of Charlotte Flair, like the determination of Charlotte Flair, and the moveset and ability like her, mixed with the sexual, beauty aspect of Mandy.
The look of Mandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good description.
Yeah. Because her backflip. Her
moonsault, yes,
brings tears to my eyes.
The prettiest moonsault ever. That's what she calls it.
It is.
Yeah,
you can't deny that.
Which I think is funny because her whole aesthetic is like I'm hot and
like I'm beautiful
and everything, which is fine. Like I'm not mad at her character. I just felt like with it being a submission match, you kind of pigeonhole yourself into this stipulation because really all you're doing is all the moves that you're doing are setting up for a submission, right? So to me, it wasn't as interesting just because you can't, it's hard to tell a story because a lot of the time, a lot of the match is dedicated to them holding a submission for long enough for them to tap, right? Yeah. And they did that a lot. I wish they would have done maybe more moves to justify being put into a submission, because when you have a regular singles match, you have a good mix of regular moveset and submission moveset, right?
Yes.
And the regular moveset sets you up for them to have wear and tear on their body for them to submit, right? For a submission move,
yes,
right? But when you just set up, maybe do one regular move and then the rest are just submissions, to me, it doesn't tell as much of an interesting story. And there was some parts where they let go of the submissions, which to me didn't make much sense.
Tiffany did that once and it was really like awkward.
It was, so I wrote it down. It was like sometimes the rules applied and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah.
So like there was one part where Tiffany grabbed the ropes, which it's a submission match, so it's a no DQ.
Yeah.
So that means that rope breaks don't count.
Yeah.
So if you get to the ropes, they don't have to break it.
Yeah.
But then Thea just let go and let her roll out of the ring, which to me, I'm like, okay, but it's a submission match. So if she's to the point where she's crawling to the rope to get relief, then you should, if anything, double down and do the submission harder and more.
I think that was just
not let her go.
A young thing. That was just just a young thing, like her, without as much practice with that. But I will say one of the things that I think they could have done to add to your point, in the beginning, Tiffany rolled up Thea and tried to do this, and she was like, crap, like she couldn't do it.
The ref was like,
but if they kept sprinkling that throughout, I feel like it definitely would have helped. Because the thing is that these technical matches, a lot of the times, because we've talked about this, we have a hard time with these because we love high flying. We love, these move sets that are just so graceful and they flow into, these incredible like setups for, just destruction, honestly. And, when we watch some of these, I'm going to say it, men's matches where it is stuff like that, like sometimes it is hard to watch. It is hard to sit there, but I feel like this was in the right direction. And I'm excited to see if this paves the way to add a little spice to this, because I feel like the building blocks are here with this one, and I feel like it can go farther.
Sure.
So I enjoyed it solely on character, and I enjoyed it solely on the fact that like I saw the technical ability there, minus a few, that one. Well, that one botch was pretty bad.
Well, but there were a couple of other spots that I saw that I just feel like it was a good match, but it didn't need the stipulation.
Yeah.
I feel like
I see why she did it, but yeah.
Because the whole setup to this was that they had a title match on a regular NXT TV.
And then tapped out.
She tapped out, but the ref didn't see.
Oh, what was it, quote she said? I raised my hands a couple of times, but the ref didn't see it. So
it doesn't count.
It did not happen.
Yeah, like it.
I raised my
hand a couple of times.
Like,
I wasn't tapping. I just raised my hand up and down a couple of times. I did enjoy that. That was fun.
Funny. That's funny.
But I feel like it would have been better if it was just a regular match that whoever lost would have tapped out.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a submission stipulation.
Yeah. I can see that. I can understand what,
Yeah, because the ending to me didn't make much sense, because how the match ended was Andre Chase.
I did not like this.
Quote unquote, threw in the towel.
Yeah.
And literally threw a towel into the ring, and then the ref was like, all right, we're done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, why does he get to say whether she's done or not?
That part, I was really disappointed with that ending, because I was just like, damn it. Like,
Because you didn't even, there wasn't even like a camera on her to see if she was tapping or if she had passed out.
If she was gone, like it was focused on him. Like it was, that was the part that I just, yeah, that shouldn't have happened. I was pissed.
It was a very lackluster way to end it. And I don't know if maybe we missed the setup. Maybe on commentary they said the only way that Thea is going to submit is if he throws in the towel for her, or like I don't know if that was something that we missed, or like
I feel like Vic could have thrown something in like that, like maybe like,
but I don't know if that was the thing. I don't know if that was the stipulation. Like we don't know.
Yeah,
because all we saw was him throwing a red towel into the ring.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden the ref is like, okay, she's out or she's done or whatever, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's 2 weird finishes on this card.
That one was, it gave me the ick.
Yeah,
it gave me the ick.
So I mean, because of that, I gave this a 3. I'm sure you might have rated it a little bit higher.
I think I did 4, but I would do 3.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it would have been better. And also the other women's match was a stipulation match, so I think you didn't really need to
I didn't
make
think of that
this
too.
one a stipulation match also.
Yeah.
Because that one, it was with the weapons and everything, like that one made more sense.
Yeah.
This one, it was just because she tapped out and the ref didn't see. So that's how she lost. That's how Thea lost. So then she's like, oh, well, if I get to pick the stipulation, then I'm going to do a submission match because that's what I've been working on. Yeah. And she didn't even really do a lot of submissions, So it was, to me, it just, they didn't utilize the stipulation enough to justify having it.
That's fair.
Yeah. But our final match of the night was for the NXT title with Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes.
Y'all know how I feel about this crazy son of a bitch. This crazy Russian man. I love this man. He can do no wrong. I like the facial hair. I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on that. He looks like he just stepped off of the set of a biopic of, some like history in like a very cold European country. Like he looks fantastic. He looks batshit, and I love it. I don't give a damn.
I feel like
a little Musketeers almost thrown in there too.
Yes,
a little Musketeers.
His entrance is so cool, and you have everybody doing the hands and the arm thing and everything. And then my favorite is he gets up on, in the ring, and then there's a slow zoom in on his face. And then the light goes to normal, and you see that he has blood red contacts in his eyes. I want to comment on that.
Maybe you're the one listening, Dragunov. I just want to say, these are new contacts.
They are new.
And I see you. I see you working. I see that because those are some good contacts. Keep up the game, sir.
The closer that they zoomed in,
you could see like lines of black in it, and like
it was so cool. Like it looked like his pupils were cracked or something. It was I'm like, how do you see?
It's amazing.
Like
it's amazing.
Maybe it helps with his like manic style that he does, that he doesn't have to have a lot of precision.
I mean, honestly, he's kind of like, essentially his move is a pounce, very similar to Willow Nightingale. He just goes, he just jumps.
Jesus. It is a. I don't know what it's called. I don't think they have a name for it because I have yet to hear it be said on commentary. I'm just going to call it the like pouncing forearm because he literally just like pounces on them forearm first.
And that's
either to the front of the face or the back of the head. Like it just, it's brutal looking, but it looks like a flying squirrel that's drunk. Like it just literally, because he just rears his arm back and just goes, like it. I don't know how it works, but he just does it.
I love him. I love him.
He can literally do that move with them set up anyway, like standing up on the floor, like in the center of the ring. Like it doesn't matter.
He could be across the ring.
Yes,
attacking somebody. Just jump like what Shane McMahon can't do.
I feel like this match started out a little slow,
but
I feel like it was intentional.
It was a good slow build.
I think that it was intentional because Carmelo is usually more of a high flyer
Yes.
than he did in this match.
And Dragunov is, you know,
more of like a ground and pound type of. That's what they're called.
ground and pound. I didn't know that.
That's what the style is called.
I'm not dissing you. I think it's just funny because I'm an immature 11-year-old boy. That's funny. That's why I'm laughing.
This is called ground and pound because they stay on the ground and they pound people.
Thank you.
I feel like I had to explain it.
No, I had it. We're good.
Okay. So
He grounds and pounds, yep.
but I feel like it picked up as the match went on, and then it just got crazy. Like there was one. Okay, I don't know what the name of the move is called, but it was
For Carmelo or for
Carmelo.
Okay.
So he does the whole Kyle O'Reilly thing through the ropes, you know, where we call it recharging himself.
Oh,
like he goes through the middle rope and then comes out
Kyle.
berserking. So he did that. But it set him up to do like this tilt-a-whirl like move around Dragunov's head.
Yeah.
Like he was gonna do a Hurricane Rana.
Yeah, and then
but then he just like fell on his head.
Yes.
Like did like an elbow
he
drop.
brought his head down or something. Like, yeah.
I don't know if that was a botch because I think I heard on commentary somebody say, "Well, he didn't get quite all of it, but it was still effective."
It was crazy.
But I don't know what happened.
I don't
if
know
that
what
was
could have been the full.
I don't know.
Because it was sick looking just the way it was.
I mean, he landed on Dragunov's head, so
Like,
I don't know what the
yeah.
intent was supposed to be, because Johnny Gargano does something very similar to that move where he kind of spins around them and it looks like he's about to do a Hurricane Rana, but then he somehow defies physics and gravity and gets them in a Gargano escape submission, like on the ground.
Johnny.
So I don't know. Also, whoever is listening in creative, please bring him back.
Where is he?
There's no need for that man to be sitting
Where
back and
are you,
eating
Johnny?
catering. Like, there's no need for him to be back there. Anyway, sorry.
Nope. We are in agreement.
Just in case anybody from creative is listening to this show.
HBK, we know it's you.
But so I feel like after they picked it up, like this match just got insane, and I can't remember everything that happened in it, but it was just one move after another toward the end for the last like maybe 5-ish minutes.
There was one where he did a whole like twirl, like Carmelo like twirled completely around Dragunov's head like 3 different times, and then Dragunov, I don't know how he countered, because it was supposed to be like Carmelo was going to like flip him over, and then Dragunov just grabs him by the head, just pounds him into the ground.
Ground and pound.
And I remember just being like, he just flew around that man's head 3 different times. Like,
yeah.
Like, what? Like, how?
Again,
how?
defying gravity and physics. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to see Dragunov do that type of moveset, just because he doesn't normally do that.
I also just appreciate him because he is the one person who really is like, and I say this, I love Mox, but I feel like he actually does this better than Mox, where he just really is an in-between, middle-of-the-road guy. Like, you have no idea what side he's on. He's not good. He's not bad. He's just crazy. He's just batshit.
And he just wants to unleash the crazy on anybody.
People.
He's an equal opportunity crazy.
Absolutely.
You know, like he doesn't care who you are. If you have a title, he just wants it.
Yeah,
you
he just
know,
wants
like
to hurt you.
It does.
That's all.
What?
Oh,
I think
also,
one of the things that they kept saying on commentary was that he's like, yeah, Dragunov says that feeling pain makes him feel alive, and I'm like, that is such a Russian thing to say. Like, I don't. That is so like
it's spot on.
It really is.
Also, his tailor, when he came in the beginning, they showed like Carmelo
suit?
that was it triple-breasted, double-breasted? I don't know what.
Double-breasted suit. Yes. And then they cut to Carmelo, who has just like a suit jacket open with no shirt on, and I'm like, well, thank you for dressing up, Carmelo. I appreciate it.
Gosh, like, come on, man. It's classy.
The juxtaposition of the two. It's like, do you remember Jerry Lawler?
Yeah.
The commentator?
Oh, yeah, and he would wear the
he would wear the
suit.
Suit, the tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah, under.
Like,
it was terrible.
And everybody else would be wearing like a full suit and vest and like tie and everything and look super nice. And then you'd have Jerry Lawler who had like a Ed Hardy t-shirt and a crown on. You know, like it was very like the juxtaposition between him
Ed
and everybody
Hardy.
else was just like insane.
It
So
was.
that's what it reminded
That's
me
fair.
of.
That's fair. I do love him gimmick though. It is
Oh, Carmelo.
funny.
Yes. It is great.
Oh, and I think Trick Williams is going to turn on him. It is a good
I think so, too.
sprinkling in there.
Because they mentioned
Mm-hmm.
at the end with the setup for the finish of this, because Carmelo, I think I can't remember what the name of his finisher is, but he hits his finisher on Ilya. But there was some scuffle outside the ring with Trick.
Yeah,
and he might have hit Dragunov with the title. Because he had the title in his hand, because he got the title and it was supposed to be encouraging Carmelo to be like, this is yours. Like, this is what you want.
Yes.
Like, you got to dig deep and get up.
What did he say? He was like, are you a winner or are you a fake? Or what is it?
Yeah.
What was it he said? Oh, it was so...
winner or faker, I think is what he said.
Oh my gosh, or something
so
like
he
that.
was using it to
pump him up.
encourage him.
Yeah, like he was
but
doing
he still
good.
had it in his hand
Yeah.
when Dragunov was thrown into him outside the ring.
So
and commentary kind of made the
did he hit it?
He's like, I don't know. It seemed like he might have hit Dragunov with the title before he threw him back in. I don't know. I didn't see. Like, so it kind of planted the seed a little bit. That maybe
even if he didn't.
Yeah,
maybe he did.
Because they're not like about cheating and stuff like that. So I don't think Carmelo would be like okay with that.
I mean, even the very beginning before this match, they had Trick have an interview, which he does not speak
by himself.
So I was like, why are you speaking by yourself, sir?
I think you're right on this one.
I think so.
My
intuition knows.
I see it in the future.
The treachery is coming.
I see it in the future.
Which one is it, David? Winter is coming?
That's the Starks. I know that one.
Treachery is coming. Hey, that is a pretty accurate description of that show.
Treachery is coming.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Death is coming. Treachery is coming. Yeah. But this match,
I gave it a 4.
Yeah, solid 4.
I mean,
it's not Dragunov's best.
It's not. It's definitely not my favorite.
You can't compare Walter.
Well, no. No.
Oh.
That's like a 6 or a 7 on the Regal scale. I definitely don't think it was the best Dragunov match I've ever seen, but it was. Carmelo is really, really good. I am honestly shocked that he is not on the main roster right now.
Yeah.
I really am.
I'm glad he's not.
I'm glad he's not, but and I
someone else wasn't.
I think for him and Braun, it was supposed. I mean, they were being looked at like they were having dark matches on main event and stuff like that. But like,
I think Hunter was like, "Please God, don't take him. We need something, please."
Well,
please.
You mean Sean?
Oh, Sean at the time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, Sean. Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry, Sean.
You're still getting used to him being in charge.
I am. I didn't know when the transition was. I'm sorry, Sean.
Well, I feel like that happened at SummerSlam last year. When
it was all the way back then.
Yeah, it was a year ago. Because we're about to come up on SummerSlam again.
Good gracious.
But yeah, I feel like maybe they just didn't have anything for either one of them. So because now Braun is kind of going in a different direction.
Well, but he wasn't even on this pay-per-view.
He wasn't, but he's still active on the show. So it's not like he is doing nothing backstage. Like it's not like it's radio silence or anything.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know because with Carmelo winning this match, he still holds the title. And even though obviously title holders, it doesn't matter if they have one or not, they can still be called up. I mean, look at Indy and
Yep.
And Isla Dawn and Alba Fire,
That's so crazy.
which have not seen any of them on TV.
Not a single one of those 3.
You make one drop the title, and then you merge the NXT women's tag team titles with the other tag team titles. And so basically dissolving them of their titles. Like, what was the point of even calling them up? Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I gave this whole show overall a 4 because I felt like there were a lot of good matches with like maybe one with the Gable and Gable Stevenson and Baron Corbin match that was just not great at all.
That was puke worthy.
Puke worthy. Jesus. But Gina Bradford, who is your ignorant slut for the night?
Gable.
Yeah, I mean, it's
No
mine too.
hesitation.
I mean, who else is it going to be on this card?
I
mean, there's literally no one else that it could be.
And his cupless.
Cupless dick? Is that what you were going to say?
Cupless. What is it? What's it? Unitard. What is it called?
I heard you say something that sounded like it started with a D.
Nope, absolutely not. No.
Okay, so just me? Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit you.
Anyway. Who else was it going to be on this card? Because no one else did as bad as he did.
No, and then it's also like, yes, like if you're a bad person in real life, I'm going to hold that to you for what you do with your profession.
I mean, look at the Usos.
I mean, hey.
We held a grudge against them for a very long time. We've just gotten around to it.
So then that means he's got a long ass way to go to win me at all. Because I can't even say back.
There's no win you at
all. He's bad. He's bad.
Yeah.
He's uncreative. He's just, he can't do the moves as well as, other people can.
He needs a lot of work.
He
needs a lot of work before he has. And I really hate that his first match basically ever is on a takeover. Like I don't know whose idea that was, but I mean, he had a match on Raw Underground. Or not Raw Underground.
Oh, yeah,
NXT
Underground because he kept doing all the different suplexes. I remember that.
And I'm like, okay, Brock Lesnar, like, calm the fuck down.
Yes.
Like, just please don't. Like, we don't need another person that's just doing the, suplex after suplex.
Yeah.
But who is your EST?
I went back and forth.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I know I'm being a little predictable with this one, but I mean, I want to just say the match overall of Carmelo and Dragunov. Originally, I was just going to give it to Dragunov, but I can't because they both worked really well together, and and the story for that match was the best. There's so many layers to it. It was a very good ending finish, and it made me forget the other two bullshit endings. And me, that takes a lot to make me forget for a little bit. So. Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes are my tied ESTs.
Okay. Well, I have an honorable mention.
Oh, yes, your honorable mention.
Just the triple threat North American title
That one was
match
so
in
good,
general.
too.
You have to acknowledge all three of them. Like, that was just, and the story that went in with it, like, it was just great.
It was.
But my EST is Rhea Ripley. Like, oh my God. She wasn't even on this card, and she's my EST.
She doesn't even go here anymore.
She doesn't even go here anymore. Like, she has a title from another school.
She's
like, she doesn't even go here anymore. And she stole the show in that match to me.
It.
Like, to the point where I didn't even remember some of the stuff that was going on because she was so compelling.
Yeah.
And some people can argue that that's, like, distracting or whatever. I don't care.
No.
Like, she is such a good addition to Dominic's character.
Yes.
And is the reason why he is so, like, so good. I'm not going to say over because he gets booed out of every building that he goes into.
But at the same time, it's like boos of fun. It's not boos of real heat.
People enjoy booing him, right? Because
I enjoy booing him.
I'll just remember, I'll never forget, I think it was in Puerto Rico that he got booed essentially out of the building. He could not speak. They would not let him speak. So funny. Like, it was the best. It was so good. So I just think that she does a lot for him.
But I like that they don't, like, they both hold their own. He has moved up to that point now where he can hold his own. But she does.
She compliments him well now. She was running the show in the beginning, I think, and I agree with you.
I think now it's starting to,
He has now moved up to be on par with her. I don't think he's ever going to top her, but, like, I feel like they are definitely,
that
like...
scream alone. No. Scream alone.
I'm sorry, just dropping to your knees.
Like a 1920s silent film star.
Because it was a near fall. Like, it's so dramatic, but it was just the right amount of dramatic that I was, like, totally on board with it.
Absolutely.
But
that is a very good Very good EST.
Yeah, I agree. And just having her be back in NXT is really fun to like.
Yes.
Even though she's not wrestling, like she did wrestle on the week before.
Yes.
With Lyra Valkyria, which that was really fun.
I really like her. I need her to come back and whoop some ass because I really like her.
The match with her and Roxanne on the last pay-per-view was really, really good.
Oh my gosh! And then the gold makeup and oh my gosh, good, so good.
I think we'll see more of her. And hey, I mean, maybe if Dominic stays the North American title holder for a while, maybe they'll have a run.
That would be fun
for the women's world title.
That would be
if they're
fun.
going to if we
can just mix and match.
If the draft doesn't matter anymore,
which it doesn't,
right? Like everybody can appear on whatever show that they want. You know, 2 weeks after the draft happened. Right. Like, then why not?
What is this draft?
Like, why not? Why not have her go for the women's world title and have it on NXT? Like, why not? But yeah, so that's this show. We wrapped this one up.
We're back.
I am happy. I'm happy that we're back as a team.
Back.
Again, like I said at the top of the show, I've definitely missed this. I mean, I'm glad that you and Robert got to do a show together.
Yes, that was fun.
And, you know, they've gotten to do a few more shows with, you know, Robert and Chris, and I think that they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was really hard for me to listen to you have someone else be a co-host with you. I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this.
It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not cheating on you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But it's fun. Like, this show is fun, and I've definitely missed it. But I'm very
welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
I love it. So David, what do we have coming up next on the docket?
Well, this coming Sunday, there's a WWE pay-per-view.
SummerSlam.
Gina, your husband seems to be of the belief that Roman is finally going to drop the belt this weekend.
I think he might be screwing with you just a bit.
I saw that in the group chat, and I can't tell if that's serious or not.
I can't either, but
that's the best part is that you won't know, and it still gets under your skin.
Unfortunately, I won't be there because I've got rehearsal that night.
Oh, boo. Well, I won't either. I have a child, so.
I fail to see how that prevents you from, just showing
Lonnie probably
up.
would sleep through it too.
She would, but she's a little unpredictable right now.
She's a little
only like almost 8 weeks old.
Yeah.
So like, I think we'll just wait until she gets a little bit older before we bring her to the wrestling events.
No,
but
it's fair.
We do tend to get a little loud.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up next week, and also rehearsal allowing, we're going to try to record an episode of Long Walk Talks next week where we're going to wrap up Stan's controversial opinions. He still
which
says,
I'm sure will be a very interesting episode.
I hope so.
I mean, the last one that you guys did was really interesting. So
yeah, Chris really brought out a lot of opinions with that one. Mm-hmm. And then I'd really, really love to get Katie in here to do a Long Walk Teeny Talk.
You keep threatening us with it.
I know, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen one of these days.
It better.
Because I even know what we're going to talk about next time.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Right?
Double ooh there.
Well, I know that we also have All In and we have All Out. And then we also have a new NXT pay-per-view called No Mercy that is coming up at the end of September.
30th.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So we're just going to be chock full of content for you guys.
Love it. Can't wait. And by that point, I'll be done with shows for the year, so that'll be nice too.
Yeah, there you go.
Shelby, if people want to follow you online, reach out to you online, stalk you online, where can they do that at?
Well, if you want to stalk me and just see pictures of my child all the time, which is all that I'm posting right now, you can follow me on Instagram only at SlayAllRay. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, which we are back on Twitter, we kind of went dead there for a little bit.
Yeah, Twitter's hard. We both don't do Twitter.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't. And now
And in fact, if you want to drop us from Twitter, drop our socials.
Honestly, I'm thinking about it. Just because now that they've changed their name,
and
it's
with
now
all this other crap.
It's X now. Like, what the hell?
And also, fuck Elon Musk.
Right.
Yay.
Like, I don't know if I want to. So, you know what? I'm not going to tell you our handles because I don't think we're going to have them for very much longer.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, just drop our podcast, Twitter, socials. I'm fine with
Okay,
it.
that's fine. I will do that, and I will let Robert know just to because Robert, I feel like, is the only one that is still on Twitter out of all of us.
Yep. Nope.
And Chris, too.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Him and Chris talk frequently.
Well, that's true. But yeah, if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at SlayAllRay.
And Gina, how about you?
So I am actually taking a hiatus. I will go, kind of go on Instagram and send you some stuff and some funny reels, and I send you some, David. But for the most part, I'm not on there, so I'm not posting a lot of content. But if you really do want to follow my Instagram, I am at Broadway_baby1218. But yeah, I have not posted in a while just because I need a mental health break.
You know what? Good for you.
And social media is just kind of dragging me down, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm not about it.
Well,
and I'm not really on Facebook at all ever anymore. I do not post
I
it.
don't even tell anybody I'm on Facebook anymore.
No, man, I can't.
I mean, if I post on Instagram, it just goes straight to
automatically.
my Facebook anyway.
Same.
So I can't tell you the last time I opened that app.
Yeah.
Gina, you and I have the most interesting Instagram relationship
It's so
because
funny.
I will share with you. I'll send you every cute animal video I come across,
And I just send
and you
you-
send me the most offensive things you can find.
That and the really possum videos.
Oh, we share a lot of possums with
Oh
each
my
other.
God.
Possums are the best.
You need to get on board the possum train.
I will
Shelby.
train.
not.
Possum
Anyway.
train.
Not get on that train.
Possum
We're
train.
gonna get you on the possum train.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I bet that's a
Screaming.
thing. I bet that's a thing.
Oh, I'm certain.
Oh, that's terrifying.
You know, like Cat Bus from Totoro, except it's Possum Bus.
I'm here.
David, wrap this show up right now.
If you want to keep up with Long Walk Productions, you can visit us online at longwalk.us to see more of our original work or hear past episodes that are no longer streaming. You can follow the YouTube links in the show notes. Thank you very much for listening, and if you enjoy this show or any of the shows on the Long Walk Podcast Network, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on.
Thank you, David, and thank you guys so much for listening. It's so good to be back. For This Is a Takeover, I'm Shelby Ray Patterson.
And I'm Gina Bradford.
And you don't have to be called up to the main roster. You're doing fine where you're at.